back doing session 2 on essential cookwares. I am Dawn Weatherwax with Sports Nutrition to Go, and I'm a sports dietitian, and this is Rita
Heichenfeld. Yes, and I'm an herbalist and a culinary professional, and I love pots and pans, Dawn, and I love good pots and pans. I know, I have no clothes, but boy, do I have good cookware. And that's what we're going to talk about now, the essential pieces of cookware that you need to start your first kitchen.
Right, because I don't know about you, but as we were talking before, cookware, you can find all kinds, all different values. So we know that from a cost-effective standpoint, when we're talking today, she's going to share with you some different ways to go. And then in the guide that we have, we'll have your brands that you really enjoy. So if somebody wants to kind of go with that level, they can invest in that. So, okay. All right. So our first segment was on the measuring tools. This one's on essential cookware. So share with me, what would we need for our one-on-one kitchen?
Okay. I think the first thing you're going to need, Dawn, is you think of a skillet. Right. And sometimes called an omelet pan.
Omelet pan. Okay.
Yes, whatever.
Okay.
And there's lots of different brands, but basically you can either go with non-stick or aluminum or stainless steel. Now the difference is non-stick cookware, you'll want to use plastic or wooden utensils, of course, for the most part. And the bonus is, say if you want to do very low-fat cooking, you can cook an egg in a non-stick cookware pan without any fat. You can do chicken, you can do it all. Now you're not going to get the browning that you would get in a regular aluminum or stainless steel.
So that's what this is.
This is stainless.
Or
no,
stainless.
This is stainless.
Okay.
But it's actually an all-clad pan. It's stainless on the cooking surface, stainless on the outside, and in between it's got an aluminum wrap because stainless on its own is a bad conductor of heat. Somewhere in the pan you have to have aluminum or copper.
And then you're saying, now, have you heard about that stuff about the Teflon, that what is that? Is that peels off and gets in your food?
Yes. What happens is...
should you stay away from Teflon, or is there a different coating?
I'll tell you what, this is where you need, when you buy your cookware, to talk to somebody knowledgeable.
Okay.
And I've worked with folks for years on this.
Okay.
It's an investment, especially the non-stick pans.
Right.
You're going to spend a little bit more, but it's not going to flake, chip, or peel.
That's what
you want it to be oven-proof.
Okay.
And normally they are not dishwasher safe. Some are, but if you want dishwasher safe, ask for that. And what's going to happen is it's going to give you long, long life. And look on any cookware for what I call riveted handles instead of applied, and that way the handle's not going to fall off.
Okay.
So,
and that's a riveted.
Yeah, that's a rivet, and it goes actually right through the pan. So non-stick cookware is good for that fast, easy cooking, low fat. Now, if you're interested in something where you have more of a visual, say you're browning a chicken breast. Now, this is a shinier pan, so you're going to get that visual. Also, you can use stainless utensils in this. It's dishwasher safe. You can throw it under the broiler. You can even store food in stainless cookware where you cannot in aluminum or non-stick. So, your choice. Look for handles also that they're called stay cool handles, so that when you grab it, you're not going to get burned. So those are the two. You can go non-stick or stainless. My preference is I have some of each just because I like the variety. But if you can only choose one, most likely you should go with stainless or aluminum, something that is not non-stick, because it's going to last you longer.
And do you prefer, if somebody's starting up their 101 kitchen, what size?
Oh, that's a great point. A 10-inch versus an 8. Always go with the 10. And the reason is this looks great. This, you can do omelets, you can do...
Stir-fries?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And think of your pans, that's a great suggestion, as multi-purpose. If it says a skillet, it's not only for eggs or sausage. Whatever you can fit in there, it'll work. So there's your skillet 101.
Okay.
Put this over here. And now we're going to talk about, saucepans. How many do you need?
Right.
What do you need? And I'm going to go with the stainless steel just because that's what I pulled out of my...
What size is this?
This is a 2-quart. This is very, very handy, especially for if you're living alone.
Okay.
And this is great for soups and stews, all kinds of things, grains. And what I did here, and we're going to ask you just right now just to throw some spinach in.
Sure.
This is just some chicken broth, just some fat-free chicken broth. And you can bring this to a boil, and we're going to share the recipe with everybody. And if I can find my tortellini, I don't know where it went. There you go.
Here?
Just hold this up. You bring the chicken broth to a boil. We'll show this later. Throw the tortellini in it, frozen tortellini with cheese. When it floats 5 minutes later, it's done. You can throw spinach in there, some Parmesan cheese. 5 minutes, you got a meal.
And cheap, but easy and healthy.
Yes.
Great protein, great vegetables. Awesome.
Okay, that's the 2-quart. And if you only can afford one saucepan, I would go. This is like a 3-quart or 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, and because it's just more versatile. And right here, I have a wonderful pasta fagioli, which is in your book.
That's in the sports nutrition book that we wrote together.
Right.
Okay.
And we're going to share that recipe as well. But this is a great size for potatoes, grain soup, stews.
And very cost effective.
Yes.
Because by the time we add all the other stuff, we got our beans, protein, healthy vegetables, but very cost effective.
Yes, and throw some spinach in there too.
All right.
And this is what I like to do, whether it's spinach or
and
leftover
do that
salad
at the
greens.
end.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the residual heat, Dawn, is going to go ahead and cook that spinach. And you put this over some whole wheat pasta, and we're going to talk about that pan next. And you've got a wonderful, wonderful meal. Okay, let's bring this out. And I love this pan. This is a little stock pot, but look, you can pick it up.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And it's actually what we call a straining pot. Let me move this back. Yeah,
okay.
There we go. And it's got some holes in the lid, so you can cook your pasta.
Oh, and you can also strain it.
Right, and it's oven-proof. And what I do with veggies is about 5 minutes before the pasta's finished boiling, I'll throw veggies in there, like broccoli, cauliflower, whatever, even spinach.
And you're saying boiling, so you put it on top, okay?
Right, and then by that time you want to strain it out, and the residual heat will cook those nicely.
Wow.
See, they're still nice and crisp.
And then nobody can complain about how hard it is. It's done by the time you're done.
Yeah, and you've got one pot for two things.
You got it.
And I do want to tell you, I don't know if we can show the bottom of this pot, talking about stainless steel. Can you see this layer here? When I was talking about stainless steel being a bad conductor of heat, instead of the aluminum being sandwiched in between the cooking surface and the outside, it's pressure applied in a disc. So look for that.
Okay.
And this will be less expensive than a pan that's off what we call clad, 3 layers.
Okay.
So that's really your basics. But you asked me about crock pots.
I did.
Because when you were in college, other than your KitchenAid mixer, which you had to have, crock pots are wonderful, especially for that first apartment.
Yes.
And this is a 4-quart.
Okay.
And the new generation has, of course, low, high, and warm. So what you can do, you can start a wonderful stew before you leave in the morning. It can cook anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. It'll still be great. And what I have here, and look for crock pots too with a removable insert, and that way you can store your food in it.
Okay.
And this is just a real quick and easy vegetable and meat stew, which we're going to share the recipe for. And it has beef and carrots and peas, all frozen.
Right.
So why don't you just tell everybody why you think this is so nutritious?
The other thing is just convenience, because people say, I don't have time, I don't have the money. One is you can do it at night, and you can put it together at night. You put it on low, it's cooked by the morning, you put it in the refrigerator, you come have a meal. If we're talking college students, a lot of times they do have a little bit of time in the afternoon. They can put it together. It's on low. It can be cooked. And by the time they come home for dinner, it's ready. Also economical, because we can add to this. You add potatoes. What we talked about is also you could add more pasta. You could put this over rice. You can stretch it out. So then that means you have multiple meals, but very, very healthy, but cost effective.
Yeah.
And as you know, you put the snow peas, carrots. I mean, you could put other vegetables if you like that. Onions.
Oh, yeah, onions are in here. And you know what I love to do is, the mixed vegetables that you buy, 10-ounce frozen.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Right after it's done, when you get home, throw those on, leave the lid on.
And there you cook it, so you don't even have to. Okay, so the trick, too, is if they just do the meat and the potatoes, they can just put the frozen vegetables on top, it cooks it, and you're done.
And
you can't expect any more. So crock pots are great.
Yeah.
For a lot of things.
And I use mine probably once a week, and even in the heat, and especially when you're having your first apartment. And it's so nice when you open that door to smell something cooking. It makes it very, very homey.
Yes, and then you're less likely to go out and get something on the way home because you know you have the meal already ready.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, here's the finish of our second segment. And as far as essential cookware with Rita and Dawn, we got our 2 saucepans, 10. You said this is a 10-inch.
An 8 and 10.
8 and 10. Oh, you can go with a non-stick or a cover or a non-stick or
Regular.
Then we got our quarts. In this size again, 2 quart and a 3.
That's a 3.5 or
3.5. And
this is a 6 quart. It's a small
6
stock
quart.
pot.
Okay.
But it's a straining lid
With a straining lid.
And
that
it's really
is
nice.
very nice.
Yeah, so
very
you can
well
pick
worth
it up.
it. And then for your bonus tip is a crock pot.
Yeah, and a 4 quart works great.
Okay.
For that first apartment.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Again, this was for our 101 cooking for your kitchen, and we look forward to our next segment. Thanks for joining us.
All right.